In today's airport update, I built a 1:400 real-life replica of the Baltimore Thurgood International Airport known as BWI. BWI is a major focus city for Southwest Airlines and is one of 3 airports that surround our nation's capital, with the other 2 being Reagan and Dulles. I am super excited to bring to you my first ever airport update of BWI. You know the words, here we go. And to start us off for today's airport update of Baltimore Washington International Airport, we're going to first start us off for Concourse A. Concourse A exclusively is for Southwest Airlines. Over here at the gate, we have the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700. This aircraft is just arriving at the airport and is deboarding all of its luggage and passengers for the flight from Buffalo, New York. And over here at the next gate, we have the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8, receiving its luggage on board as we speak right now for the flight out to Myrtle Beach. Another Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700. Over here we have a Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 7 actually. This is by NG Models and the coloring of this aircraft could be a lot better. Anyway, it's getting its fuel on board right now for the flight out to Savannah Hilton Head International Airport. And over here, to everybody's surprise, we have yet again another Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700. To everybody's surprise, this one is equipped with split scimitar winglets, and this aircraft is first getting its catering on board for the flight out to Hartsfield, Jacksonville, Atlanta International Airport, and will begin charging for those bags. And wow, speaking of charged bags, over here we have a ton of Southwest Airlines luggage. I'm sure the customers are going to be thrilled that Southwest is going to charge for these aircraft bags.
Stop it. Get some help.
Over here, we have the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700 in the Florida 1 livery, getting its bags on board for the flight out to Fort Myers, Florida. And over here, we have another Southwest Airlines aircraft. Over here, we have a Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800. This guy is in the Heart 1 emblem near the nose cone of the aircraft, and this aircraft is getting its catering on board as we speak for the flight out to Denver, Colorado. And how about a new model? Over here we have a GeminiJets Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700 with split scimitars. This is the March 2025 release of this aircraft, believe it or not, and this is a fantastic model. It just arrived at the airport 10 minutes ago for the flight from Norfolk, Virginia. Stealing the show, if you will, over here we have this stunning, absolutely stunning Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the beautiful New Mexico 1 state special livery. What a fantastic model this is by GeminiJets. This aircraft is being tugged out of its gate as we speak right now for the flight out to Montego Bay, Jamaica. And finally, we have a different airline. It's only taken about 4 minutes to get to a different airline. Over here, we have an Alaska Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 9 in the West Coast Wonders state livery. What a fantastic model. This aircraft is in line for departure for the flight out to Seattle, Washington. Back to Southwest Airlines.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Over here, we have the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700 receiving its catering on board as we speak for the flight out to Nashville, Tennessee. I should mention that we're slowly going to be transitioning from Concourse A to Concourse B. Concourse B serves Southwest Airlines. And just arriving at the gate and deboarding all of its passengers and those charged bags, I'm really beefing Southwest Airlines here for charging for their luggage. Over here we have the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800. This aircraft did arrive at the gate 10 minutes ago for the flight from Orlando MCO. Another airline that charges for luggage. Over here we have a bankrupt airline. The Spirit Airlines Airbus A321. The Spirit Airlines Airbus A321 is in line for departure and will take off from the airport in 15 minutes for the flight out to San Juan, Puerto Rico. And you guessed it, back to the Southwest Airlines fleet. Over here we have the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700. This aircraft will begin boarding in 5 minutes for the flight out to Islip, New York. Over here at Concourse B, we have another special livery. Over here we have a Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700 in the Lone Star 1 special livery. This aircraft is first beginning to board up its passengers as well for the flight out to Chicago Midway today. And yet again, we have another Southwest Airlines aircraft. It's going to be a long day. Over here, we have a Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800. This is in the Part 2 special livery near the nose cone of the aircraft. And this aircraft is deboarding its crew. It arrived at the gate 15 minutes ago from the flight from Phoenix Sky Harbor. And yet again, we have another Southwest Airlines aircraft. I don't have to say Southwest Airlines anymore, but I will anyway. The Southwest Airlines 737-700 is receiving those charged bags and catering for the flights out to Miami, Florida. Over here, we have an American Airlines aircraft.
A few moments later.
I meant a Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700. I'm just so tired of saying Southwest Airlines. This aircraft is in the,
2,000 years later.
Disney's Coco special livery. I'm just tired of Southwest Airlines. This aircraft did arrive at the airport 15 minutes ago from the flight from Austin, Texas. And we're almost wrapping up the Southwest Airlines fleet. Hooray! Over here we have another Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700. This aircraft is first cleaning out the cabin for the flight out to Houston, HOU, or Houston Hobby. And another stunning aircraft. Over here we have another Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the Freedom 1 special livery. Wow, what a stunning model by NG Models. This aircraft is heavily being catered with luggage, catering, and first passengers. They'll begin boarding those first passengers very soon for the flight out to San Diego, California. Over here we have a Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800. This aircraft arrived at the gate 20 minutes ago for the flight from San Antonio, Texas. And so over here we have another Southwest Airlines aircraft as we are on Concourse C. Concourse C serves Southwest Airlines, to everybody's surprise, and American Airlines, as well as a couple other airlines. Over here at the gate, we have the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8 in the beautiful Amura 1 livery. This aircraft is departing its gate in 25 minutes for the flight out to Dallas Love Field. And for the viewer's sake, the last Southwest Airlines aircraft of today's airport update, aka I ran out of Southwest Airlines planes. Over here we have a Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the Nevada 1 state livery, taxiing out of the gate with the tug. This aircraft is leaving the gate with the tug right now for the flight out to Albuquerque, New Mexico. And how about a different airline? Over here, we finally have a different airline, the third non-Southwest Airlines plane in today's airport update. Over here, we have this American Airlines Boeing 737-800, heavily being catered with luggage, for the turn out to Charlotte, North Carolina. Up next at Concourse C, deboarding all of its passengers and luggage, we have this American Eagle Embraer E170, deboarding all of the passengers and luggage from the Philadelphia International Airport flights. And as Mile High Aviation calls it, over here we have the classic flying cigar up the American Airlines Airbus A319 with Charlottes. This aircraft is getting its catering on board, as well as the crew is cleaning out the flight for the flight out to Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. And starting us off for Concourse D serves Spirit Airlines, Delta, Allegiant, United, and a couple other airlines. We have the Spirit Airlines Airbus A320 just arriving at the airport and deboarding all of its passengers and luggage from the Fort Lauderdale International Airport flights. And then we have this bankrupt airline the Spirit Airlines Airbus A320neo, prepping up for the flights out to Hartsville, Jacksonville, Atlanta International Airport. And arriving at the airport right now with the tug over here, we have this stunning Delta Airlines Airbus A321. This Delta Airlines Airbus A321 is just arriving at the airport from the flight from Atlanta International Airport. I've seen on Flight Radar 24, the 757 is often used, but I felt like using the Airbus A321. And over here, receiving its fuel and first passengers, over here we have this Delta Airlines Airbus A320, first receiving its passengers and first fuel for the flight out to Salt Lake City, Utah. And over here, we have this United Airlines Boeing 737-800. This aircraft is hard standing at the gate and will begin boarding up in 1 hour for the flight out to San Francisco International Airport. It is surprising to see that United would fly such a long route from San Francisco to Baltimore. And a fairly recent model that I picked up over here, we have this Allegiant MAX 8 2000. This aircraft is just arriving at the airport for the flight from Las Vegas. This Frontier Airlines Airbus A321neo is just receiving its catering on board for the flight out to Orlando MCO. And also prepping up over here, we have this Frontier Airlines Airbus A320neo in the Mia the Dolphin tail. This aircraft is going to be receiving its luggage any minute now for the flight out to Chicago Midway. Starting us off for Concourse E, the international concourse, over here we have this Condor Airways Airbus A321. This Condor Airways Airbus A321 is heavily maintained with luggage, catering, and fuel for the flight out to Frankfurt, Germany. And another Condor Airways aircraft. This Condor Airways Airbus A330-900neo in the new livery is just arriving at the airport from the flight from Frankfurt, Germany. And how about this British Airways Airbus A350-1000? Flaps down. This is such a beautiful aircraft. I think they usually fly the 777, but I need to buy a 777. This Airbus A350-1000 British Airways is first prepping up for the flight out to London Heathrow. They'll begin boarding in 10 minutes. Last aircraft today, over here we have this Icelandair Boeing 737 MAX 9 in the new livery, receiving some catering on board for the flight out to Reykjavik International Airport. And that wraps up today's airport update of Baltimore International Airport, Baltimore Thurgood International Airport. I really hope you guys enjoyed this new series. Please comment below if you did, because I'm highly considering keeping this airport and making it even more realistic. I didn't really feature any parking garages or any markings on the board, so if you did enjoy this airport update, please comment below so I can continue doing these airport updates. If you haven't already subscribed, I would greatly appreciate it. We are on the road to 1,500 subscribers. This is Hawaiian Air 2121 signing off. Have a good one.